Here, this time bringing you some first impressions for Bloomtown, a different story, which is, I would mostly describe it as a JRPG that is set in like 1960s Americana type stuff, where we take on the role of a couple kids staying with their grandparents for the summer who just so happen to get caught up in some nefarious plots involving demons, kidnapping kids, and all this other stuff. It's an interesting game that I have talked about once before. This game released last year in 2024, and I took a quick look at it via a demo that was enough to tell me that I eventually wanted to get around to it, but I have been honestly very busy since then, so I have just now gotten around to this, and it seemed like the perfect kind of summertime game to play. But since we are here talking about first impressions with this full version, I do want to say very clearly, I kind of hate the cover art for this game. So as you can surely see on screen, this is clearly like a pixel art thing. It honestly looks really great at that. And it's got such just honestly great art direction in general, and then for whatever reason, the actual cover art of this game does not match it at all. To the point that I kind of feel like it gives you a very different idea of what this game is going to be, much to its own detriment. Beyond that, for the people who insist on comparison, I would say mechanically speaking, this is a game very similar to things like Persona or the more recent Metaphor. With the catch being that while like days are passing and stuff and you can only do so much in a day, there aren't any actual time limits. Rather, things will just happen at certain times of the week or the day, and you kind of have to approach things from that angle, but, otherwise that's pretty much it. To sort of set the stage here, though, we play primarily as Emily and her brother Chester, who are staying with their grandfather for the summer following their parents' seemingly divorce, and yet very quickly you get embroiled in this sort of supernatural subplot on top of just kind of running around town, both to earn a little spending money in order to actually buy stuff, such as upgrades to your equipment, which you're going to need to fight these demons, but the supernatural side of things is that Emily has been having strange dreams through which she winds up being contacted by none other than Lucifer, who offers her a deal, power for her and her friends, in exchange for tracking down and trapping 3 demons that are causing problems in the town, which are almost certainly related to the child kidnappings, abductions, and other strange happenings across town that are honestly pretty dark at times. Even just in the first dungeon, as an example, while it is pixel art, child abuse comes up pretty heavily. Just in case you thought by the depiction of this that it was like all sunshine and rainbows, that couldn't be farther from the truth. Now, in order to fight those demons effectively, and part of the power we gain from Lucifer are these guardian spirits. Basically, spirits or demons themselves that will be protecting us, that increase in stats as we level up and give us access to a base set of skills. We're also going to be fighting and capturing demons. We can capture these demons, assign 1 per party member. These guys can be fused with the other demons you catch to increase their power, which is how you get the elemental abilities you need to effectively take down various groups of enemies. Similar enough mechanics if you've, again, played things like, say, Persona, or even like Shin Megami Tensei, which I know does a similar thing, albeit on a slightly more approachable scale. And then on top of that, you also have just regular stuff like actual equipment, and a cool thing there is equipment does actually seem to matter. There are stats and things you have to take into account when gathering weapons, like an individual weapon's crit chance, actual damage, or potential status effects that it could potentially inflict, especially because status effects can often be comboed, which is a big part of combat as well. Basically applying a status effect only for another party member to combo off of it. And much like various JRPGs as well, the various party members we'll meet along the way do have a sort of friendship level that you can increase, which will give them extra abilities in combat to make them even more effective, like, say, counterattacking for your dog companion, who primarily acts as the sort of tank here, or your brother Chester being especially efficient at debuffing enemies with status effects. Now, as side progression to that, there's also various actual stats and skills you can raise, like smarts or guts as an example, which will provide you bonuses to various skill rolls that will come up in conversation, which can help you get around things or potentially kick off various side quests as an example. And while it's a little limited, I did think it was a nice touch. especially along other systems like, say, crafting, which features like useful items in terms of exploration via things like lockpicks or more direct stuff like cooking for healing items and stuff to use in combat. There's also plenty of other things to do simply around town, most of which are involved in increasing your stats in some way. Putting all of that together though, Bloomtown mostly just seems like a much more approachable version of other types of JRPGs I have seen and even played a few of, and combined with honestly just the aesthetics of it, exploring around town, seeing all those interactions and how sort of full of detail and quests the actual town is, seems to make for a potentially fun summer game, which is obviously why I'm playing it right now while I'm a little bit in between other things. So as I move to review this, from what I understand, it's not a terribly long game, something like 20-ish hours for the main story, like 30 or 40 if you want to fully 100% it, and as such, I fully expect to have this review out probably by this weekend at the latest, but mostly I'm just looking forward to playing it because it honestly seems like a nice little palate cleanser in between some of the deeper RPGs I've been playing here lately, because every once in a while I need a little break from the 80-hour epics. As far as first impressions go, I think that's pretty much going to do it for this particular video. If you enjoyed it or you're looking forward to the review, by all means, like, comment, subscribe, all the YouTube jazz. But regardless of any of that, truly, just thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. May you wander in wisdom and have an amazing day.